Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this edition of the Primetime Newscast on Equinox Television, live from our headquarters in Cameroon's economic capital, Douala. I am Bablet Jonathan. In our top stories in this edition of the news, the international non-governmental organization Human Rights Watch accuses the Cameroonian armed forces of burning down over 70 houses in Mankon in the crisis-hit northwest region of the Republic of Cameroon. This is contained in the last report of the non-governmental organization on the situation in the northwest and southwest regions of the country. The organization makes a balance sheet of the recent atrocities committed in those two regions. Also in this newscast, we'll take you to Government Bilingual High School, Nitop, in the Bamenda 2 subdivision. The school whose teacher was recently beheaded by unidentified persons as the Anglophone crisis continues deepening. Our correspondent in Bamenda was in that school, and she will be giving us details in this newscast. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us on this edition of the news. International non-governmental organization Human Rights Watch says the Cameroonian armed forces are responsible for the burning down of over 70 houses in Mankon in the northwest region of the Republic of Cameroon. This information is contained in the last report on the situation published by the non-governmental organization. And of course, the non-governmental organization is urging the Cameroon government to sanction those found guilty. Smanjikan Gebre has more.
Human Rights Watch is once again on the neck of the Cameroonian military. In its latest report, the international non-governmental organization has held responsible the Cameroonian army for the burning of houses in the locality of Muachu, Alachum and Matsam in Mankon, Mezam division of the Northwest region last May 16, where more than 60 houses were destroyed. In the same report, the rights organization says a man who was forced out of his own residence by the army was brutalized and later killed. The report, however, says the defense minister has opened investigation to track down the defaulters, but the non-governmental organization wishes that those responsible should be made known and it should be independent and neutral investigation. More to that, the rights organization asks the government to be more focused to other cases of human rights violation by the military and sanction them. Human Rights Watch says they had some elements which aided them to produce this latest report, amongst which questioning of 15 persons who live in Mankon. 10 persons accused the F and the Rapid Intervention Forces to be the ones who burnt houses in Mankon. The international non-governmental organization also used satellite images in concluding their reports. Human Rights Watch continues to call on separatists and the army to stop the human rights violation in the northwest and southwest region. Human Rights Watch, however, reminds Cameroonian government about their refusal to grant them access to investigate on the ongoing human rights violation in the two regions plagued by the Anglophone crisis, even though they had had the go-ahead from the United Nations Human Rights High Commissioner's Office. The NGO also reminded the government about the fact that Cameroon denied their researcher into the country last April 12, 2019, days before another report was released.
And accusations continue raining on elements of the National Armed Forces of the Republic of Cameroon over the killing of a 4-month-old baby in Muyuka in the southwest region of the country, after the Minister of Communication and Government spokesperson Rene Emmanuel Sadi dismissed allegations that the military was involved in the killing of the 4-month-old baby, indicating claiming that the baby was killed by pro-independence fighters who were hunting their former colleague, that is the father of the child. Our correspondent in the southwest region, Derek Jato, spoke with the parents of the child and other persons around the neighborhood where the incident occurred in Muyuka, who maintain that the military is responsible for the killing of the child, and of course other concordant sources are equally accusing elements of the National Armed Forces. But it should be recalled that in a communique signed and published by the Minister of Communication and Government spokesperson, the government of Cameroon says that the child was killed by separatist fighters and that the father of the child was an ex-fighter who had repented but is being haunted by his former colleagues. And according to the Ministry of Communication, the elements of the National Armed Forces were not involved in that matter, but the accusations continue rising against the military. Now we're going to take you to the Northwest Regional Capital, Bamenda, and our correspondent Stella was in the school of the history teacher beheaded by unidentified individuals. Stella was in Government Bilingual High School, Nitop, and she brought back this report.
This is the Government Bilingual High School, GBHS, Nitop. It is situated in Bamenda 2 subdivision, Northern Division of the Northwest region. It was in this school that Wontai Vondor Olivier taught Histoire and Geography. On the 21st of May 2019, a bodiless head was discovered at the Mobinkwen neighborhood. It has been identified as belonging to Wontai Vondor Olivier, a staff of this school, according to a release signed by Northwest Governor Adolphe Lafrique. Locals have testified to this reporter that they have met the late Wontai Olivier on several occasions. They have testified to us that he had been a teacher in this school. He even taught their children. Judging from how the gates have been closed, we can see that no learning and teaching goes on in this school. The gate has been locked from inside with a lock, and we see a chain used in fastening the planks. We equally did not meet any teacher, nor school administrator, nor student in this school. Students who are sitting in for the General Certificate of Education, both the advanced and the ordinary level, are supposed to be having effective teaching and learning. But as you can see for yourself, there is no teaching and learning process at Government Bilingual High School, Nitop.
At the Government High School Nitop School campus, the classes are locked from outside. Grass is overtaking the campus. The school has not been functioning for some time now due to repeated attacks from gunmen. Inhabitants tell this reporter. The situation at the Government Bilingual High School Nitop is common in many schools in the Northwest region. They have been deserted. Fewer schools in the regional headquarters have some students. The situation is different elsewhere in the region. This primary school is just another example. Judging from the state of its playground, it can be concluded no teaching and learning takes place here. This is the third term of the academic year. Students sitting in for the General Certificate of Education in both ordinary and advanced levels, and those sitting in for the First School Living Certificate and Common Entrance may find it difficult this year, a parent tells this reporter off camera.
And administrative, municipal and traditional authorities have continued calling on the pro-independence fighters to drop their guns and come out of the bushes and return to the normal life train in response to President Paul Biya's call, so that peace can return to the two Anglophone regions of the Republic of Cameroon. Correspondent in the Southwest region, Davidson Maimo, spoke to some officials, traditional and local council officials in the Mundimba in the Indian division, and this is what they said.
For my brothers and sisters, parents who are in the bushes, I pray that God should touch their hearts. We are not happy that they are there, especially our parents who are hiding in the bushes. Let our brother see the cry of their mothers. Women are peacemakers in the society. Let them turn and see the cry of their mothers so that they will try to drop out their weapons. To calm down, let us have that dialogue to make sure that there is peace in our nation, in our country, Cameroon, a peaceful country. Most of these children, they have their degrees, qualified, all. Some are big nurses, diploma nurses. They are there because of hardship. They are not happy. So if the Prime Minister can create jobs, opportunity for this our youth, I'm sure this crisis will come to an end. The young people too will be happy and have peace. And I know, as it was declared by the senior divisional officer, the magistrate, the chiefs in the various villages will make sure that they have their meeting with their subordinates and the population of their various villages to make sure that this peace reign. And I'm sure if they come out like the majesty of the villages, and women too, they join their voices, youth too, they come out as I've shown today that they are tired of the whole thing, then we are sure to have peace. I think if the government can look into the problem of the road and the creation, or let me say the relaunching of the Mundimba Council Forest, it will be better for the municipality.
We are pleading to our boys who are inside the forest. We are pleading, kneeling down to them that they should come back home. Come back and help their parents so that our life should be the way it was at normal in the past. The effort that we are doing is coming at a time when the Prime Minister had visited Southwest, and from his own speech, we think that peace will reign in the Southwest province and Jiang especially.
And preparations ahead of the baccalaureate examination in the French subsystem of education are gaining steam. Students are doing last minute cutting their teeth and dotting their eyes. A few days to that examination, and innocent as it says, some of them have been adopting new strategies of learning in order to make good results. His report.
Few days from now, students in Douala and Cameroon at large will converge on examination centers to battle with the baccalaureate examination of the French subsystem of education in order to bounce to another level of education. At this crucial moment, candidates at Government High School Aqua are more serious and determined to sail through successfully. They attend all revision classes to get their problems solved. A couple of days to the baccalaureate exams, we feel the pressure, but as a soldier who cannot go to war without his gun, we are multiplying efforts to embrace the exam with ease. Our teachers have chewed for us. It is now left for us to swallow. Others have adopted better strategies to study. At first, I read twice in a loud tone, but I decided to change method. I now study past questions and try solving them. I prefer revising in the morning, either from 7 or 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. and have a rest. Another candidate broadens her study method. She is curious about recent happenings like social problems registered in the armed conflict in the northwest and southwest regions, like rape or the concept of living together.
circuler tout au long de l'année.
Teachers, on their part, wish to see the candidates excel, reason why they accompany and give them the needed advice.
If you were having that habit to get up early as maybe 2 a.m. to revise your lesson, then do so. You should not change your rhythm of reading now, because if you happen to do that, then you may end up not even coming for the exam the next day because you fall asleep because you are tired. If somebody is happening to distract them from their education, let them not fall in that trap. They should concentrate in their studies, because tomorrow it will be brighter to them.
Other things he notes should be taken consciously by candidates includes mastery of grammar, reading and understanding of instructions on question papers.
The English topic, I told them that they should revise especially the grammar well, the vocabulary well, and we have finished all the program. They should revise their lesson with using the techniques that have been taught, especially the reading the instruction well before answering the question, because if they answer the question as robot, as you usually say, then they will go off topic.
Considering their good performances in the just written mock examination, their mentors are confident they will excel with tremendous.
Coming up, Immaculate Fogwe takes a look at challenges faced by teachers and, of course, primary or nursery schools in the Republic of Cameroon. Some of them spoke to us here in Douala during activities marking the end of the 2018-2019 academic year. Her report.
School is a place par excellence where knowledge and skills are imparted to the rising generation. But those who are in charge of transmitting knowledge are working in deplorable conditions, which sometimes has a negative outcome on those acquiring knowledge. A case in point is that of nursery school teachers who decry some of their plights.
The difficulties that teachers of nurseries are going through is beyond description. Truly, honestly speaking, there's nobody who can pay those teachers of nursery. You can't imagine a child of 3 years who beginning school, and where they are the people taking care of the children. Most of the parents even abuse them. Some of them insult them. My child has done this, my child has done that. Whereas a parent cannot take care of 5 children in the house, but a teacher of nursery is taking care of 80 as an individual. How can?
Normally we have some challenges as nursery teachers, such as didactic materials to supply to ease our work, and even we have lack of motivation by some of the proprietors and proprietor of the lay private schools that we have in Cameroon, and also
of the difficulties that we face in nursery school in my school is the late payment of school fees, which at times can result to the late payment of the teachers. So when parents at this time in May, by the end of this month, many schools will be going on holidays, and some parents are still owing school fees. So that can cause the proprietor not to pay the teachers on time. So that's one of the things that we face in the nursery school.
Due to the diverse challenges, the Inspector of Basic Education in the Douala 4 subdivision organized the first ever edition of Nursery School Teachers Come Together under the theme Living Together for a Brighter Future. Nursery school teachers from the Douala 3, 4 and 5 subdivision had the opportunity to have a tete-a-tete talk on some of their daily challenges.
It is not an event as another. It is the synthesis. We present the synthesis of all the activities of nursery schools. It is related to pedagogy.
What can I say? That we are so happy to take part of this ceremony. It's a wonderful moment where we see our children and our teacher well performing. We are so happy. I will just say congratulations to all of them.
It was equally an opportunity for extracurricular activities to be carried out by some of these teachers and their pupils. As the 2018-2019 academic year draws to an end, these nursery school teachers are hoping that the government will provide solutions to their plights before the start of the next academic year.
In Uganda, lawmakers have passed a bill making it a criminal offense to offer money, food, or a donation to a street child. Those who will violate this new law could face up to 6 months in jail or a fine of $11. The aim of the law is to curb the commercial and sexual exploitation of children in the country. Kampala's Mayor Erias Lukwago says the law will also penalize traffickers, agents, and parents of children found begging or selling items on the street. It is common to see children as young as 7 navigating through the traffic, selling items or begging in the country, and the Ugandan government estimates that there are as many as 15,000 children between the ages of 7 and 17 on the city's streets, and the number continues to rise. Some of the children are trafficked from villages and given small rooms in slums by their handlers, and the law also makes it illegal to leave or rent a house to a child for immoral activities or for a child to engage in petty trading. That's it for this edition of the news. Thanks for staying with us.